The mansion was silent, almost too silent for a home filled with wealth and supposed happiness. At the heart of it all was a little girl with wide brown eyes who never spoke, never laughed, never even whispered a word. To anyone who visited, it was a tragedy they could not imagine, a millionaire's only daughter, trapped in a silent world, born deaf and unable to hear the voices of those around her. But the truth, as it so often is, was more heartbreaking than anyone dared to believe. Before we dive deeper into this moving story, I have a heartfelt request. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the power of compassion to uncover hidden truths, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to our channel Kindness Corner. Your support helps us continue spreading emotional stories that touch lives and inspire change. The girl's name was Amelia. She was 7 years old, with delicate features that made her look like she had stepped out of a painting. Her hair was a cascade of golden waves, often left unbrushed, falling into her face as she sat alone by the enormous window of her father's estate. Day after day, she gazed out at the world she seemed locked away from, her small hands pressed against the glass. Her father, Richard Lawson, was one of the wealthiest men in the city. He built empires from concrete and glass, his name etched into skyscrapers that touched the sky. But for all his power and wealth, he could not, or perhaps would not, see the pain written across his daughter's face. Richard told everyone the same story: Amelia was born deaf. He had spent millions on doctors, on therapies, on specialists who claimed nothing could be done. He wore his role as a devoted single father like a badge of honor, presenting himself as a man carrying the heavy burden of raising a disabled child alone after his wife had passed away years earlier. But behind closed doors, Richard was absent, both emotionally and physically. He drowned himself in work, in wealth, and in the endless pursuit of recognition, leaving Amelia in the care of nannies who came and went like shadows. Until one day, a new nanny arrived. Her name was Claire. She was young, not yet 30, with warm eyes and a patient soul. Unlike the others before her, Claire did not come simply for the paycheck. She came because she believed children deserved love, no matter their circumstances. On her first day, she found Amelia sitting in silence in her room, clutching a worn-out stuffed rabbit with one ear missing. Claire knelt down beside her, smiled, and whispered a soft hello, even though she knew Amelia could not hear her. Still, she believed love was not always spoken, it was shown. As the weeks went by, Claire noticed things. She noticed the way Amelia's eyes darted toward sudden noises, the clink of silverware in the dining room, the creak of a door, the sound of footsteps echoing in the marble hallway. She noticed the way Amelia would flinch when someone raised their voice, her tiny body tightening as if bracing for something. She noticed the way Amelia's lips would tremble, as though words were stuck inside her, desperate to break free. It began as suspicion, a whisper in Claire's mind that grew louder each day. Could it be possible? Could Amelia truly hear? She tested gently. She dropped a spoon behind the girl, and Amelia turned. She hummed a soft lullaby while tidying the room, and Amelia's eyes followed her with an intensity too sharp to ignore. One evening, as the sun poured golden light through the tall windows, Claire whispered Amelia's name. To her astonishment, the girl froze. Her tiny shoulders shook, and for the briefest moment, her lips parted as if to respond, but then she lowered her head and clutched her rabbit tighter. Claire's heart ached. The child wasn't deaf. She had been silenced. But why? The answer was darker than Claire had prepared herself for. Over the next few weeks, she uncovered fragments of Amelia's past. House staff, hesitant at first, revealed pieces of the puzzle. Amelia's mother had once been a vibrant woman who adored her daughter. She had insisted Amelia was healthy, that her silence came not from deafness but from fear. But her voice was silenced too, by Richard himself. Rumors swirled of harsh words, of control, of a woman slowly broken down until her heart gave up. When she passed, Richard crafted his own truth, and no one dared to challenge him. Claire realized Amelia wasn't born unable to speak or hear. She had learned to be silent. Somewhere deep inside her was a voice locked away by trauma, by grief, and by fear of a father who refused to see her for who she truly was. Every night, Claire sat with Amelia, reading aloud from storybooks even though the girl never responded. She sang lullabies softly, and though Amelia never sang back, Claire swore she saw flickers of recognition in her eyes. Slowly, she began to encourage Amelia to respond, not with words at first, but with gestures, with nods, with the faintest hums that slipped past her lips when she thought no one was listening. Each moment was a breakthrough, fragile and precious. But Richard saw none of this. He lived in a world of boardrooms and power struggles, appearing only occasionally to kiss his daughter on the head like a stranger might. He dismissed Claire's observations, insisting Amelia was deaf and always would be. "You're imagining things," he told her coldly. "Don't fill her head with false hope." Yet hope was exactly what Amelia needed. One stormy night, the truth erupted. The thunder rattled the mansion, lightning flashing through the tall windows. Amelia, terrified, ran into Claire's arms and, for the first time, sobbed out loud. And then, as Claire held her tightly, rocking her gently, Amelia whispered a single word. "Help." It was faint, broken, as though unused for years, but it was there. Her voice. Claire's tears spilled freely as she realized the depth of the cruelty this child had endured. Amelia had spoken once, but when her words were met with anger or dismissal, she locked them away, choosing silence as her only protection. The next morning, Claire confronted Richard. She told him what she had heard, what she had seen, what she knew in her heart to be true. But Richard, hardened by pride and denial, exploded in fury. He threatened to fire her, to erase her from Amelia's life. But Claire refused to back down. She loved Amelia too much. And then, in the middle of Richard's tirade, something happened that silenced him completely. Amelia, trembling but determined, stepped forward. She looked directly at her father, tears streaming down her cheeks, and spoke again. This time louder. "I can hear you, Daddy." The room went still. Richard's face drained of color as his world collapsed around him. The lies he told, the truth he ignored, the pain he caused, all of it stared back at him in the voice of the little girl he had sworn was deaf. In that moment, Richard Lawson, a man who had built towers of steel and glass, crumbled. He fell to his knees before his daughter, sobbing for the years he had stolen from her, for the truth he refused to face, for the love he had buried beneath his pride. From that day forward, everything changed. Richard sought help, for himself and for Amelia. It was not easy. Healing never is. But with Claire's unwavering support, Amelia slowly began to reclaim her voice. She laughed again. She sang soft songs with Claire by the window. She called her father by name, and though the wounds of the past could never be fully erased, love began to grow in the cracks where pain once lived. And through it all, Claire remained by her side, not just as a nanny, but as the guardian angel who uncovered the truth when no one else dared to see it. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Stories like these remind us of the power of compassion, of speaking up for the voiceless, and of believing in second chances. Before we end, we have a special request. Comment below what this story meant to you. Did it remind you of someone in your life? Did it make you believe a little more in the power of kindness? Your words matter, and we can't wait to read them.